This is Murder in the Morning with Tony Bruschi and Stacey Cole.
Sean Combs, one of the most powerful figures in the music industry, or once was, now finds himself at the center of another devastating lawsuit. I don't know what number we're on. There's just a lot of them. Yeah. This time, former reality show contestant Kendra Haffoney has come forward with allegations that she was drugged and sexually assaulted by Combs during her time on VH1's I Want to Work for Diddy in 2007. According to her lawsuit filed in Manhattan, what started as a career opportunity quickly turned into a nightmare. Haffoney says her interactions with Combs were infrequent at first, but became more consistent as the competition progressed. Then one night, she was invited to an afterparty, where she claimed she was given a drink that left her feeling delirious. According to her lawsuit, Combs allegedly forced her to perform oral sex while she was in a weakened state, rendering her unable to resist. Haffoney says she ultimately lost consciousness and woke up in the show's cast house where Combs was sitting at the foot of her bed. Lawsuit details that when she awoke, she felt weak, disoriented, and in pain. Haffoney says she immediately knew she had been assaulted, but felt powerless to speak up. She alleges that she continued with the show despite her trauma, suffering in silence out of fear and shame. Her claims don't end in New York. Haffoney also states that Combs subjected her to further sexual misconduct in California while the show was filming. Her lawsuit is one of just many filed against Combs in recent months, with accusers coming forward to describe alleged assaults spanning decades. These lawsuits have been made possible in part due to a New York City law that allows victims of gender-motivated violence to file claims beyond the standard statute of limitations. With the look-back window set to close in March, actually, by the time you're hearing this, it's closed. Multiple individuals have come forward with accusations against the disgraced mogul. Combs' representatives deny the claims, calling them meritless and arguing that the plaintiffs are taking advantage of the temporary extension in legal deadlines. However, the sheer volume of allegations tells a very different story. In addition to Haffoney's case, at least 3 more lawsuits were filed on the same day, and one of those cases, filed by Arista Benitez, alleges that in 1995, Combs drugged her during a dinner while she was a student at NYU. She claims she blacked out and later woke up in a cab feeling as though she had been raped. Another accuser, Leslie Crockle, says that in 1999, Combs gave her a drink at a Hamptons party, causing her to lose consciousness. When she awoke, she alleges he was on top of her, assaulting her. Adding to the disturbing allegations, a man named Justin Gooch claims that in 1999, when he was just 16 years old, Combs provided him with ecstasy, alcohol, and ketamine before allegedly pushing him down and raping him at a nightclub. The lawsuits keep coming. The male escort from Florida filed a complaint just the day before, accusing Combs of sexual assault in 2012. The civil lawsuits are piling up, while Combs also faces federal criminal charges for racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking. Prosecutors allege that Combs led a criminal enterprise that engaged in a range of illicit activities, including drug distribution, kidnapping, and arson, all while using his power and influence to silence victims. If convicted, Combs could spend the rest of his life in prison. With each new case, a clearer picture continues to emerge, one of a man who allegedly used his wealth and fame to prey on vulnerable people for decades, believing he would never face the consequences. But now, as the legal system begins to catch up with him, his once untouchable empire, it's beyond crumbling. It's kind of gone. What are your thoughts on the latest round of civil lawsuits against Diddy? I think your mic is not there. It's not working. I heard like a weird sound while I was doing that story, and I think her mic is going out. Stacey Cole, I know you'll come back here in a moment as you work on your microphone. While you're doing that, I'm actually going to sing the greatest hits of Diddy for everybody. Okay, just in time. I
saved everybody
just
from that.
In time. I was all set.
I was going to ask if you heard my cat meow at a very pivotal moment during that story.
Is that what I heard?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. And then it damaged your mic. And
It's just a mic cord that seems to have a short in it. So
Yeah.
he walked over the cord. So I think that's what did it.
Motherfucker.
I don't about this story. I don't know. Nothing surprises me anymore. I mean, really, I'm sad that somebody has been dealing with this trauma for this long.
Mm-hmm.
And there are people out there saying, well, all these people are coming forward. They're not true. Well, we don't know that. They all have, like we've said before, they all had the same story.
I don't think there's a lot of
something and
I don't think a lot of people are saying that these people are coming forward and it's not true. I think Diddy's saying that. I think you have to weed through all of them and you have to determine what is legit and what's not because of just the sheer volume. I mean, it's like everything's coming through right now. But yeah, there's certainly likely, very highly likely going to be several of these that are very legit. And yeah, they all kind of have the same stories. It's so hard in cases like this that are civil to prove anything this many years ago. It's hard to prove it when it's not that far ago. I'm curious on the one about the Who Wants to Work with Diddy show or whatever it was called on VH1. About the B-roll, about the cutting room floor stuff of what still exists there and what maybe could be found in discovery. Because these civil cases, if they go forward, if they don't just get settled, they take years. And I would imagine all those sort of things would certainly want to be explored if it goes that far. Because I would guess if you're literally on a set, you might have found something. There might be something on some of those tapes that somebody would like to hear or see that could pertain to some of this stuff. I don't know. It could be wrong, but I would think that might be a good place to start in terms of that one and at least having some sort of evidence of these claims being legit.
Oh, it's out there. It's just, is it going to be released? Has it been trashed? And these shows that get done, there's extra footage.
Who wouldn't love to see the cutting room footage of The Apprentice,
I was just thinking that.
Yeah, I mean, is it Mark Burnett who has all of those? And it's
and Mark's got it. Mark has, I think, people close to him have said he has the footage.
I'm surprised Mark Burnett hasn't suddenly died in some sort of weird thing, like being pushed out a window or something like that at this point.
It may happen.
Like if there's a story like Mark Burnett got pushed out a window or fell from a window, as we often see in Russia, where it's like, I fell out of a high rise, because that happens all the time. You just fall out of the high rise.
They have no screens on any of these windows. It's the weirdest thing.
Yeah. And they open.
And they open and people just go stand there and then they fall out.
Yeah.
Because that happens all the time.
I would feel like that would be an incredible liability right now, where it might be in somebody's interest for that. And no way would I want that to happen, or am I? But I'm saying you better have some good security, Mark Burnett, which I'm sure he probably does at this point. But there's so much to these allegations, and will we ever know the full? It's literally just become a white noise, honestly. When this all started, when we started seeing the civil suits coming in, it's like, okay, let's follow this and follow that. Now it's like, I don't even know. I mean, every day there's a new one, literally, almost every day.
Yeah, there's no way to keep track. I wonder, is there somebody keeping track out there? That would be interesting to know.
The court system.
Well,
and I'm sure Diddy's attorneys, how many things are we fighting at once? And I mean, I don't know, how do you fight all these at once? How many attorneys would you possibly need to even keep up with this shit?
You'd need an entire...
Oh, I think the cat stepped on your...
working on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. You're. I think the cord cut for a second, but I think you're there. You're there. You're there. You are there. Okay.
I got to get that fixed. But yeah, you'd need the entire legal firm.
I don't know how you do it, and especially when he's going to get to the point of not having money, because that's coming. The money thing is coming. His assets, as we saw in the last indictment, they're ready to come in and take a big wrecking ball, or really just take a lot of semis and take a lot of stuff and go away with it and never, ever, ever get it back. And I think that's what the future holds for Diddy. It's going to be a hard one to fight.
The latest true crime stories, expert breakdowns, and shocking twists, all in one place. Press subscribe now to the Hidden Killers podcast and True Crime Today. You just made it through an episode of Hidden Killers with Tony Bruschi. Congrats on surviving the ads. Want to skip them completely next time?
What is that?
Join the True Crime Today Premium Plus channel on Apple Podcasts. Ad-free episodes, exclusive early access, and no interruptions. Just pure crime storytelling. Try it free for 3 days. Don't wait.
Bitchin' stuff, dude.
Hit subscribe now on Apple Podcasts and get ahead of the mystery.
Know what I'm saying?